Hey guys, I'm coming to you live from my Tacoma on my way to pick up 3 more sheep. So I'm going to be showing you guys a little bit of that process, this beautiful farm that I'm going to. It's the same one that I got Daniel from many months, almost a year ago. So I'm very excited, picking up a ram and a couple ewes, and I'll tell you more about why they're so special when I get there. Just some incredibly beautiful properties down here. Amish live out here. Amazing.
Tail. She doesn't have a snotty nose. She's got clear eyes. She's got a good thermometer score. She's got a clean rear end.
Right. I like her.
She's got a thick midsection.
Yeah.
So her brother, as far as you were saying, you want the quality, when you like the ram testing, her brother is currently at the ram test.
You look at the whites of their eyes and you look for how much pink there is. She's F1's the highest. F5's pretty well nearly dead. She's probably an F2.
Okay.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Real good. Our slaughter lambs have the best hanging weight to hoof weight ratio of any lambs we've ever had.
Wow.
But
this guy,
he doesn't produce good parasite resistance. And and the reason is he's had a Midwest breeding stock.
Interesting.
And they breed totally characteristics they breed for in the Midwest are totally different from what we breed for in southern sheep.
So this is the view from the farm as I'm leaving. It's just incredible. Amazing little valley right in here. And then that's their whole sheep farm. I think they've got about 30 ewes or something like that. They pump out, a good 60, 80 sheep a year, something like that. And they said that they're mostly selling to homesteader people, very small farms, no one like that big. So this is one of the big reasons why I went with sheep. I've got 3 sheep in the back of my truck. How easy is that? So I can transport animals, and even in a small vehicle like this or the back of a minivan, you can move sheep. So even if I had to take them to a butcher, or if I had to take them to sell them, or if somebody needs to come to pick them up to buy them from me, they can have a small vehicle too. It's just one of the advantages to not going with cows, being that they're such a huge animal. You need a truck, a trailer, all these different things in order to move them, or a friend that has those things. So to me, that's one of the huge advantages of sheep, and why I went with them as my main farm animal enterprise. So this farm is involved with the University of Virginia. They send rams there to get them tested for parasite resistance, and they breed for parasite resistance. They don't do worming. If they ever have to worm an animal, that animal gets wormed, and then it gets eventually slaughtered, gets taken out of the rotation. So basically the genetics that I'm getting haven't ever been wormed. So, which is what I'm breeding for too, obviously. And in the South, it's very important that we always breed for parasite resistance. So I have now got a very well-rounded flock. So the babies coming September will be from my Katahdin St. Croix cross ram. And then the next round of babies, I'll throw this Katahdin in, have him breed with them. And I'll just keep switching them back and forth, and bringing in other rams, maybe from friends, or maybe I'll purchase a purebred St. Croix ram at some point, but I don't need to really worry about that for at least another year or two. So let's go ahead and get back. We're gonna unload them into my permanent animal structure, which I haven't shown you guys on YouTube before. I did make a video about how I built it. I've showed it on Instagram. So follow me on Instagram and Facebook, guys. If you really wanna know what I'm doing all the time or every day, I put out stories and posts every day, every week, so that you know what's going on, what the projects that I'm working on are. So check that out, and I'll see you guys in a minute. Come on, boy. Boy. Perfect. Good job. All right, shut the gate and it's all over. Man, that was easy. So this is why I built this permanent animal enclosure, because if you guys have seen a couple of videos about me bringing home new animals, you've seen them escape. So this is far more effective, so easy, and now I can train them in here before I ever put them out with the other sheep on the nets. The nets, they need to be trained very well to the nets, because if you put an animal out in a net before they know how it works, they could die. They could get stuck in it, they could get their horn stuck in it. So they really need to understand and respect the net well before you put animals out in those Premier One or whatever company you're using nets, in my opinion. So that's what we're gonna do here. That's a Pakistani mulberry tree. My dream is that it's gonna grow up super big, drop beautiful fruit here in this animal enclosure for the animals and me. So it's just a single reel, stepping posts, and then going out to my hot line, put that insulator in there, and it's good to go. So now they can eat all around this, and they'll get experience of multiple lines, a single line, and once they're trained to this, then I will bring in nets, just like I did with Koi. Well, I haven't showed you that on YouTube yet, but I'll put the nets inside of here, train them to the nets, and then I can finally get them out onto the pasture. This process will take about a week. They will eat down this hay or this grass really far, so I do have hay that I will be bringing in. Hay that I actually made here on my field, and it's a little bit of hay that I bought last year as well. That right there is a shade structure that I made that I'm still working out the kinks on the design, but you guys will see that final video. The ewes are just weaned, so they're like 4 or 5 months. That ram is about a year old, so he's ready to go. And yeah, they look super healthy, and like I said, these genetics are fantastic. And I got to pick my favorite sheep out of all the ones that were there. So the pink marking that you're seeing, that's just something that the farmers did to mark which ones are ewes. And over here, they've just got their water set up. This is my old mineral bucket, using that for water. I do have KNF maintenance solution in here, Korean natural farming stuff, and kelp, salt, garlic, and some alfalfa pellets. So they're loaded up with all their goodies, and they got plenty of nice grass as well. So before I leave, they weren't finding the water. They were more just standing over here. So I just walked near them, pushed them a little bit, and then they went straight over there. They found their alfalfa, and they know where the water is now. So when you get new animals, it's always really important to make sure that they find the water and they know where it is. Don't just assume that they're going to find it. Okay, now they know the whole situation here. The last thing that they need to learn is that electric. Now there was electric at this farm. The ram for sure knows what electric is. The girls, I'm not so sure. I think that they do, because there was electric on this farm. This is Koi. He's my livestock guardian dog. I got him a couple months ago and been training him, and trained him actually in that same enclosure, and it worked really well. So now he's out here with the sheep, learning to protect them. I've got a black belly in there, all my St. Croix. They're just doing really well. Got them on 2-day moves right now, and that seems to work out great for these 8 sheep in here. Once I add these 3, I might have to go down to every 1-day moves in these nets, but I am almost done with my perimeter fence. I have a single line run around this whole thing, so I only need like 1 more full day with my dad or somebody to knock this thing out, and then it'll be finished. And I can switch everything over to running these reels like you're seeing here, and I'll just run out rectangles across the entire field and allow me to move the animals very quickly. But I needed to have the perimeter fence, and I needed to have a livestock guardian dog in order to do that. So everything's getting set up to do daily moves with a dog. Now I've got a second ram, so my collection of animals is really starting to come together here, and I'm pretty much done with my sheep now for a while.